Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney. I am a first semester nursing student, almost in my second semester of my ADN program. This is my third video. I really still don't know what to say. I'm still so awkward about this. But this is my third video, and if you are wondering why it is the same background, same hoodie, everything, like makeup's the same, it's because I'm filming my first, second, and third video all on the same day because I really want to get these like kind of on a schedule, and I have a minute before we go back to school, and I just felt like if I didn't do them today, then I wasn't going to get them done. So I'm going to go ahead and get all three of these videos. Well, you've already would have seen the first and the second one before you see this one, but I wanted to get these videos out for you, so, and for me, so I don't procrastinate. But yeah, that was so awkward. If you would like to see more awkward content like this about a struggling nursing student who is low-key having a ball of anxiety a week before her final exam, subscribe to my channel. Okay. So I just kind of wanted to sit down and explain to you my nursing school journey and just all the ups and downs that I've had, because I have had plenty, and I feel like I've never really heard, I've only heard of one other person kind of have the same-ish story as mine. So I just wanted to share my story because maybe somebody else is like that, and they just really need to hear that somebody else isn't perfect and that you can do it. So let's get into it. So I graduated high school. Well, first let me back up. I have known that I wanted to be a nurse or in the healthcare field since I was little. Like when I was like 8 or 9, I wanted to be a pediatrician. Like my pediatrician, I just really loved her. Fun fact, I went and worked for her a year ago. So yeah, I aspired to be like her. I wanted to be a pediatrician, all the good things. Like I just want to do that forever. And then I ended up picking my nose. But I knew I wanted to do that. And then as I progressed like through school and I learned more about medical school and then all of that, I realized that is a lot of school, a lot of math, and I'm just not down for that. Like I couldn't do it. So I said, you know what, I'm interested in nursing. Like it's not the same thing, but kind of the same thing, if that makes sense. So let's go into the field of nursing. So I reckon I decided on that when I was 12 or 13. So since then I knew I wanted to be a nurse, and I know I've always known I wanted to work with kids. I never wanted to work with adults. I just don't like adults, sorry. I just don't, it's not that I don't like adults, it's just not, it would not fulfill my life if I was working with adults. Let me just put it like that. I love my clinical patients. Like, of course they're adults because I'm only in the first semester. I love them all. I have really, I'm a lot better at it than I thought I was with adults, but kids is where my heart is, and that's just where I want to be. So anyway, I decided I was going to be a nurse. Great. So I was not a straight A, but I would cry if I got a B. And I mainly had B's in math. So I was that type of student in school. I was a perfectionist. Like everything had to be right. The whole 9 yards. I graduated, so what's it called? Salutatorian of my class. Like I was just that student. Well, I actually graduated early. So I started what's it called? I started college. I started college at 16 because I homeschooled my last year. And then me being the student that I am, did all of my books like I had no life. I did all of my homeschool books, graduated, great, salutatorian. And then, get comfortable, okay. So, I graduated as salutatorian, went to college, and I don't know what happened. But, it's hard for me to say this because I look back and I'm like, Courtney, what were you doing? But, I did not do so great in college. I had to repeat microbiology 3 different times. I'm not lying. 3 different times I repeated microbiology. I failed English Comp 1, I think. Yeah, it was Comp 1, and partly it wasn't because I didn't try in there though. I did try in there because I homeschooled my last 2 years, and whenever I left actual like public school, I was in the 9th grade, so we hadn't really talked about like annotated papers and stuff like that. So whenever I got to college and my teacher was talking about like all these different things, I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah, that didn't work out great. I actually repeated it during the summer, came out with an A. Yeah, but failed the first time. So through all of that, you can guess. And then I had like A, B's, and C's. Like that was my thing. I was like, C's get degrees, whatever, just get me out of here. Or get me into nursing school. So my GPA was not great. I actually like bombed my GPA. Like I had a 2.8, I think was my lowest. And I felt like a failure. I was like, what are you doing? Blah, 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 all that other stuff. So anyway, fast forward, I applied to nursing school. I actually applied to nursing school my 2nd year of college, so I was still kind of getting my prereqs. But I applied to nursing school. I was 17 at the time, and I didn't get in. And it didn't really bother me. Like, it bothered me, but then I was like, I'm 17. I don't think I'm really ready. Like, I don't know. I just knew my headspace wasn't in it. I was like, you know what? I just can't. It was best, you know. Like, it was best that I did not get into nursing school that year. So I dealt with it. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then fast forward, like I finished, I graduated with all my prereqs. And then fast forward to the next year, I applied again to nursing school. Once again, I did not get, like I got put on the wait list. So yeah, that happened. I got put on the wait list, wound up, did not get in. That year, I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. Because I'd always been the perfectionist. Like, I succeeded at everything I did. I, like, never experienced failure like that before. And I just knew I wasn't going to be a nurse. I was like, I'm never going to get in. I screwed myself over. Like, what did I do? Blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. So, yeah, I was in a downward spiral for a good couple months because I actually didn't. It just wasn't great. So, I went back to school. I still knew I wanted to be in the medical field until I can get into nursing school. So, I went and done a medical office technology program, and which really helped my GPA. I really liked it. I loved my teachers. I learned a lot because we had like medical terminology and all this other stuff. Really, really, really loved it. So glad I did that. And then that year, during that year, it was time again for me to get into or apply again for nursing school, which would have been for this year, yeah. So this will be my 3rd time to apply for nursing school. And the school that I wanted to go to, which was the school that I graduated with 2 degrees from and everything, actually put me on the wait list again, and which was the only school that I applied to. So I never really applied to any other schools besides that one school, besides whenever I applied for this semester. So I got rejected from them. Well, rejected once, put on the wait list, and then this time period that I'm in right now, I also got put on the wait list. But then I also applied to another school, which is the school that I'm at now, and they accepted me. So I'm in nursing school, yay. And then actually, it's a funny story because the first day of orientation, after I done went and bought all my books and stuff for nursing school for where I'm at now, the school I wanted to go to called me and was like, hey, you got a spot, you need to be here Monday or whatever. And I'm like, I've spent $400 on books out of pocket, I can't know. So I had to turn that down, and I had to do a lot of soul searching before I did that, but in the end I'm so glad that I did. So with all that being said, I had a really rough start into going into nursing school. I experienced a lot of pain. I experienced a lot of failure. I don't know. But I say all of that to say that nursing school is hard to get into, but you can do it. Like, I'm over here retaking microbiology 3 times. It's okay. You're okay. You're gonna be fine. And it's all in God's timing. And to continue with my story with that, like, it's all in God's timing, if I had not been rejected from nursing school, well, one time and then put on the wait list the other time, and if I had not went to nursing school now, like when I'm in nursing school, then I would not have met my study partner that I have now. And honestly, he has gotten me through this semester. Like, this person has really got me through this semester, and I'm so thankful that he was put into my life, because I really don't know, like, I'm not a social person. Like, I'm very much an introvert. So I don't know, if it wasn't for him, I really wouldn't have anybody to study with. I wouldn't I don't know, I just feel like I wouldn't be doing as well as I am if it was not for God placing me and him in nursing school together. So everything happens for a reason, and it's just all in God's time, and you just have to remember that. I know it's easier said than done, but everything's gonna be all right. It's gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. So that's kind of the end of my nursing school journey and how I got into nursing school. Now I want to talk about nursing school up through the past 4 months. August, September, October, November. So yeah, like 4 months. I think that's how long it is, because we only go to school for a day in December. But anyway, this first semester, I just want to talk about it. So I have done well on pretty much all of my tests. I have passed all of them but one, and that one that I failed really hard. Like, it dropped my grade 3 points. I had an 87. It dropped down to an 84, which is still passing. We had to have a 79 pass in my program. 79.5 pass. So I'm still passing, but it still kind of like gives me the butterflies whenever I think about my final, because I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah. Competencies have honestly whooped my butt this whole semester. I have had to redo all of my competencies except for my Foley, which is very odd to me, because they say that Foley is the hardest, but I did fine on it. And then everything else that was supposed to be easy, I had to redo. So that was a great time. So my vital sign competency, I messed up on the pulse. I think because I was just super duper nervous. It was my very first competency, and I was shaking, and it was just not a good time. I was not having a good time. Had to redo that. Redid at the same time. Was fine. Whatever. Had to redo my physical assessment. Who who the heck has to do redo their physical assessment? It was all because of my strength. I forgot to do my strength because my patient was in a wheelchair. I had not practiced with a patient in the wheelchair. So, if you have to do your physical assessment competency with your patient in a wheelchair, remember to do your strength. You push, you pull, gas pedal, flex backwards, all the things. Make sure you do that, please, okay? If you take nothing else from this, please make sure you do that. And then what was the other one? Okay, so we had the vital sign, we had physical assessment, we had our INO. Yeah, we had our intake and output. I made a simple mistake. I really felt confident coming out of my first one too. I was like, I passed out. Psh, whatever. Everybody was freaking out because a lot of people failed because of the conversions. We have 5 regular conversions and then 5 intake and output like things. And I passed the conversion part and then made a simple mistake on the input and output. Really mad about it. Whatever, redid it, passed it. I actually took that right before we got out for Thanksgiving. And then did our Foley catheters. And I passed that one. So, needless to say, it has not been easy. But just try your best. I did my best. And we're making it. And we're going to pass. And we're gonna pass to the next semester. We're gonna make it to second semester. Trying to think what else, but yeah. So I've had I think my lowest, okay, so I had my really bad grade, which was a 68, which is really bad, really bad. That's the only one I failed though, and then the rest, I think besides that one, my lowest grade was at 82. So I think I'm doing okay for the most part. Our first test, I don't know, because I don't want to lie to you. I wish my iPad was charged so I could go through each of my things. But, yeah. That's just kind of a little update over the semester of what we done. We had 6 rotation tests. We had 1 final. And then we have our one midterm, and then our final is December the 6th. So I'm very nervous about that. I don't know when this video is going to go up, so I don't know if it's going to be before or after the final. I may make, I don't know. We shall see. That is future me. Future Courtney, you passed your final. Congratulations. You got this. You're going into second semester. Yay. And also for anybody else that's going to like take their final or is waiting to hear to get into nursing school or go into third semester, go into second, go into fourth, graduate, whatever. You go, girl or guy. You got this. Round of applause. Round of applause. So yeah, I feel like this video has been all over the place, but I just kind of wanted to have a little sit down talk with you guys, tell you about my nursing school journey and what this first semester has looked like for me. And yeah, I will update you soon about what's going on with my final and what we're looking at for next month, or not next month, next semester.